Gundam.tk presents HGUC Juaggu.
Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs, Gundam.tk, and you've already seen the unbox and the rather interesting parts here for the HGUC Juaggu, 30 years in the making, but now it's time to actually make it into the mobile suit you're seeing there and see how it stacks up. And there you have, with alternating reactions of loving it and hating it, the ugliest or the best MS design. Of course, there's nothing in between. But anyway, this guy is just going to be a lot of fun in terms of just plain silliness when he's all put together. In terms of the color app, simple yet effective. As you can see, the brown, the gray, the white, and the gold in that short order there. It's really nice that they are going to be putting the white there in the proper pieces, and the way that the gold is going to go up there in the finger guns there. The shoulders here are going to work well with the white, and the details worked into the backpack to go along with the thrusters, all big pluses, but it's going to be the white and the gold up there for the head, and the little tick marks that you're going to see on that visor and that moving mono eye there. And not to mention that the opposite here of Grover's nose is just going to catch all the attention, and it's going to totally take away from the fact that it's got that very simple body design, because all of your eyes are going to be on the limbs instead, and all of the ridiculous parts down there, and I'm talking about all 7 of them. Articulation now, where that lower body is definitely going to worry, because what can you do with these hips here? Well, you can move them this far off to the side, and you can't really rotate them around. So if you were thinking of bringing up the legs into a cute act guy kind of sitting pose, it's not going to happen there unless you're just going to go and rotate this white part around. But you can see that it's not going to have a lot of room to wiggle around in there. And the ankles themselves are going to be locked into place, so lower body mobility, definitely not a big plus. But then again, you can still do some awkward stuff like that off to the side as he goes running to get food in the savannah. Upper body here is going to be rotating around this much there, so a good degree there, and forward and back though, it's just hardly going to move at all. A lot easier when you're just dealing with this and not the weight of the actual limbs being properly attached on there. You saw the attachment point here, which is going to allow, this is the inside here, you're going to be having that dark gray part come forward, and it is a nice touch that you can see that the shoulders are going to have that white part move inside the gold part up there as they go around. You can rotate the arms all around. This is supposed to be the outward position. Add some little coloring there if you want to. And again, the fingers are going to move down. 1, 2, 3. He can almost play the piano. Big selling point on the box that the head is going to move around a lot. And in fact, it's not really. You can see it'll rotate off like that, but this is going to bang into the shoulders. And in terms of up and down, you can see here that yes, it can move a little bit there, but it's not going to be moving all that much. And these white parts here on the inside, you can see that they move, but they're pretty much just going to flop back down into place. So if you expect him to do anything other than look like a flat pancake and you wanted that pancake looking up in the air, it's just not going to be happening. But the trunk here, not the tusk, is going to be a lot of fun to move around, and it's actually going to stay in place quite solidly. Height comparison now, you can see that the Juaggu is definitely not going to be winning any NBA games there, but in terms of the squat and wide department, he's definitely taking the edge. Not to mention the whole keep it simple design there, as we can see 2 children of the 80s here, just one with real grade stylings on the right. Flat head here versus Dan Aykroyd's cone head here in the form of the Hammurabi from Zeta Gundam also, and it's still just cool to see these old school MSVs getting a lot of attention and being well put together with HGUC technology. And really, you would not think that these 2 designs both came in as enemies of a tricolored and otherwise white Gundam. And did the Juaggu's famous gold coloring have any influence on the Hyakushiki or the Delta Gundam that came after it? Well, no, absolutely not. And finally, another suit that can actually win in the widest MS department. Now, unfortunately, the first thing that you're going to notice about trying to pose him is that these legs, because they have no flexibility whatsoever, if you throw off that center of balance too much, he really is going to want to go toppling over if you try to do anything too fancy at all with the legs. Believe it or not, that really did happen naturally to him. I'm glad he's got a protected head down there. If you don't try to wrench the ankles too far out to the side, this is where you get to see another feature shine. The fact that you've got the fingers, not only can they move this way, but they can also separate like that. So all of a sudden, if you've got him and his mono eye focusing down here, you can have the three big guns, definitely looking very cool, even though they are not a beam rifle. And then with another quick variation on a theme here, you realize that this guy doesn't really have all that many themes. It's just going to be where you focus the eyes, what you want to do with that other arm, and what kind of angle you want to put it at, although that's really not to say that he doesn't look cool. And really, what does Strike Freedom have on this guy? Especially when he's on a rotating base, just cutting down anybody who's on the same plane as him. But as long as the Master Grade Act guy can sit down and look ridiculous, well, why not continue with the exact same thing here? The Juaggu, you can see that the legs here are mostly, this is just going to be accomplished not by moving the hips, but instead just rotating these yellow pipe cleaners up there. You can pop the feet down so it's actually going to stay locked into place there. You could still attach an action base, I suppose, but the fact that you can bring down the hands across or have him calling out to somebody somewhere is the kind of silly thing that's going to help bring this kit to life in a lot of people's eyes. And here I was thinking that with an action base too, you can make him look like he was seriously launching into some sort of cool covert operation, but instead he looks like a guy who's just sort of late and running out the door past his wife to go join his carpool. So that'll wrap up my look at this ridiculous mobile suit, but anyway, I'd love to hear your comments about it as he gets stuck on the box with his trunk there. Anyway, what do you think about the design, the build, the posability, and anything else, whether he's animated or not? Anyway, everybody, stick around. I'll have my final thoughts in the verdict, but I'd love to hear yours with a comment down below. And as always, thanks for watching all these news, reviews, trunks, and everything else that you really can't use. See you next time, everybody. Bye.